Venice is what we might say is a globalized city, in the sense that people have a clear image of it, of the city, before coming here. And one of the, I mean, if I asked anyone now what is it that characterizes Venice, they would say bridges, canals, gondolas, but not wells. But Venice is characterized by wells, and I always actually start the course on history of Venice from this object, which I think characterizes in a very profound way the landscape of Venice, because these are underground systems, water systems. They collect the rainwater they used to collect rainwater for the inhabitants of the city, and by the end of the 19th century, when they were closed to be replaced by the aqueduct, by pipelines coming from the springs, bringing water from the springs of the mainland, there were thousands of wells, private and public. And this tells us one thing about this landscape, which is that Venice is surrounded by water, was built on water, but this water is undrinkable. So the inhabitants here, the first thing they had to do was to consolidate the land by digging wooden piles, but also find a way to provide water for a city which became relatively populated compared to other cities of the Middle Ages, actually one of the most populated cities in Europe. This is the starting point of the course, and because the course is about the relationship between the environmental setting of the city, the morphology, the urban morphology, the shape, the political institutions, and social life. And wells are an example of this interaction.